Welcome to UNCAGED, a show that celebrates thought leadership from today's top business leaders. The program provides a voice to amazing executives from around the globe who are shaping the world of business today and mapping the path to the commerce of tomorrow. Today, we're speaking with Del Esparza. Hey, Del, how are you?
Hi, thanks for having me. A pleasure to be here.
It's great to have you. And Del, you work in my favorite and former industry. Del is the CEO and founder of Esparza Digital Advertising. They are delivering certainty in advertising. And so we'll tweeze through what that means and where they're playing these days. But before we get there, Del, tell us a little bit about your journey.
You know, I founded the company in April 1st, April Fool's Day of 2000. And it hasn't been a fool's errand whatsoever. It's been an incredible ride, one that I've thoroughly enjoyed. Certainly have experienced some highs, have experienced some lows, but you know, you learn as much from the lows as you do from the highs. In fact, I would argue that you even learn more from the lows than you do from the highs. And so it's been an incredible ride. We're based in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We have an office in Houston, Texas as well, and have a team of about 18 employees.
Wow, I love that. Well, lucky you being in Albuquerque, New Mexico. What a great place to be. So I love the fact you've built this agency, and tell me a little bit about what you guys are working on now and how you're going to market.
Well, you know, we work with a number of different industry sectors, everything from finance to retail, to casinos, to entertainment. What I can do is talk more broadly about what we're doing, and really how we're doubling down on how consumers are making decisions these days, and really what the pandemic did in shifting those buying behaviors. And bottom line is we are not only doubling down, we're tripling down on digital acumen, our understanding of artificial intelligence and predictive modeling. There's so many tools out there that exist that allow us to predict a consumer's behavior before they're even before they're interacting with an ad or any sort of a message. So by predicting that behavior before that even happens, before a media buy takes place, we're ensuring much higher return on investment, much more targeted with precision media, and prompting the kind of action that wouldn't normally happen. And so that's very exciting. I have a finance degree and I have an economics degree, so analytics is really, really important to me. Long gone are the days, at least at our agency, where we would develop some creative and cross our fingers and hopefully it would work. We're able to predict and model things that we know will deliver certainty for our clients.
I love that. That is really that idea of certainty and getting more predictive upfront, really building kind of a data-driven model going forward. So, I mean, you've mentioned a couple of the key things that people are discussing these days: machine learning, data-driven marketing. What are the big trends that you're seeing that are impacting your work these days, and where are you guys playing?
Well, really, you know, it used to be we would want to hire people with a strong creative background or a strong art background. And that's still very important when developing the creative. But just as important is having people with a math background, with a finance background, with an analytical mindset, because data plays such a role. And data is only data. It's really how you use the data and how you interpret the data, and then how you visualize it, and then explain what the data is telling you to a client. And so I think one of the biggest trends, at least, and one of the biggest shifts that we've realized at Esparza is a much deeper understanding of not just pulling data, but interpreting that data and then visualizing it in a compelling way to tell the story that we want to tell.
Yeah, I mean, the visualization is so key because I think with data-driven solutions, one of the challenges is that once you start collecting information is almost endless, right? You could end up with mountains. And it's really trying to tweeze through that and find meaning and then put it in a way that it is digestible and actionable, right?
Well, for sure. I mean, too much data can be paralyzing, and we've seen that happen in many cases before with clients that we've onboarded, where they are so deep into the data that they can't really make a decision because they're not able to synthesize the data and come up with some conclusions. What we do is we take the data, we synthesize it, we interpret it, and we come up with some conclusions, and then report that back to our clients, which has really contributed toward our position and our tagline that we are completely committed to, and that's delivering certainty for our clients. Which isn't that what any company wants, is a sense of certainty and predictability, and
I
that's one
tell
of the
you,
things that we're
honestly, Dell, if you can do that, how many clients have always asked me, say, well, you're asking, you're asking for all this media
right.
money. Tell me what it's actually going to do for me. So that's always the question.
It's a fair and legitimate question. And probably 10 years ago, it was like, we think this is what's going to happen. But now with machine learning and with artificial intelligence and with the tools that we have, and as long as we have a budget that would allow us to get the kind of voice that we want out in the media market, we can pretty much predict behaviors that are going to happen.
So let me shift a little bit, Dell, and ask you about the last couple of years. I mean, it's been an interesting moment for us. The pandemic certainly forced us all to rethink, reimagine, buckle down, and then at times actually face challenges that perhaps turned into opportunities. And I just was curious to hear a little bit about how the last couple of years has impacted Esparza and how you and your team approach the landscape today.
Well, I think probably like any company, it was a very jarring experience to have to all of a sudden go to a 100% in office setting to a remote setting was foreign to us as an agency. Certainly, an agency that collaborates a lot. We work together a lot. We brainstorm a lot. So having to shift from all being in one conference room to all being in our own living rooms or bedrooms at our office was a shift. The outcome of that is our productivity at work from working remotely has been significantly higher than I anticipated going into it. So our productivity is higher. Our satisfaction is higher. When we had the opportunity to go back to the office 100%, I pulled my employees because they're critical to the success of my company. I wanted to make sure that I was making a decision that was in line with what they wanted. And what was concluded was a hybrid type of a model. So we're actually in the office 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And we're working remotely Thursday and Friday. So giving them the opportunity and that flexibility to still be able to work at home, but also have that captive time in the office where we're all under one roof. We're able to have those kind of collaborative meetings and those deep dive discussions that are a little harder to do in a remote setting.
Yeah, I love that. That's really interesting model. So you guys are together for 3 days of the week, and then people then have flexibility on Thursday and Friday.
Right. They're able to work from home Thursday and Friday. Of course, if they need to work from home on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for a variety of reasons, for one of their kids are sick, if they're sick, or they're feeling a tickle in their throat, we encourage them to still work from home. We certainly have all the tools. They have all the tools to be very successful at home. But what was important is they selected that model of Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in the office, Thursday and Friday working from home. I didn't select that. That was something that they wanted, and I think that goes to the importance of any leader to use the most valuable tool in business, and that's their ears. Listen to their employees, listen to their clients, find out what they want, what they need, and ensure that you're respecting that accordingly.
I love that what you just said, because that's just something that I think all entrepreneurs learn at some point, which is, the culture of a business is rarely successful if it's all top down, right? It really is one of these things that kind of bubbles through the organization. And I know that culture is a big deal for Esparza and how you guys approach things. Tell me a little bit about the culture of the company.
Well, it's something that we talk routinely about at Esparza. one of a big philosophy that I have is work-life integration. Not work-life balance, because the philosophy of work-life balance is something has to give. So if you're working more, then the family life has to suffer. If your family life's more, has to take a more important role, then work is going to suffer. I believe in more work-life integration where they're working together. And if you're able to excel both at work and also excel at home and integrating them both together, then you're going to be happier at home and happier at work. And so we really, really foster that. It's important for all of my employees, all of my team members, to be able to coach their kids' little league teams. It's important for them to go to every single parent-teacher conference. So that kind of balance really fosters a stronger culture, a stronger commitment to Esparza, and really what we've realized is more productivity out of my team members.
Yeah. I love that. And, it really takes an advertising and marketing pro like yourself, Del, to, tweeze through the meaning of words like that. You're absolutely right. It's integration is the right word. That's
right.
A really excellent choice. So tell me, we find ourselves in 2022 and you guys are in the thick of it right now for this year. Tell me a little bit about what things are looking like now and going forward.
Well, what we're finding right now, we're in the middle of 2022, as you said. We're doing a lot of planning for 2023. There's a lot of uncertainty with the economy. There's a lot of discussion of, are we going into recession? Are we not? What's going to happen with the cost of money and rising interest rates? So there's some reluctancy to spend in our industry right now. There's the balance sheets are very strong. Many businesses have done very, very well over the course of the last year and a half, but it's the fear of making a commitment going into 23. So what we're seeing is some reluctancy. What I will tell you is now is the time to actually make sure that you're over budgeting on your marketing and advertising dollars, because it's during uncertain times, it's during downturns in the market where consumers are less loyal to brands and more likely to try something else. And so it's during these times that a challenger brand or a second and lead brand can catapult and become a market leader during times like this, if proper advertising and marketing budget is allocated and great advertising is deployed. They can become a market leader coming out of a downturn in a market.
Yeah, it's a really good point. I know that there are several tried and true business case studies that have highlighted that over the years. And yet I think it's just the human reaction is always to try to be a little bit more economical during these times. That being said, certainly there are opportunities for companies to move forward and build new solutions. Del, it's been awesome to learn about everything with Esparza Digital Advertising. If someone wanted to learn more about what you guys are working on, where should they find you?
We deploy a lot of white papers and a lot of thought leadership papers on our website. You can certainly sign up for our email list at esparza.com, esparza.com. Has our portfolio on there, some of our philosophies, and a list of some of our leadership team and some philosophies that they share.
Excellent. Well, Del, thanks so much for being on UNCAGED today. We've been speaking with Del Esparza. He is the CEO of Esparza Digital and Advertising. We've been talking about a lot of marketing topics that, as many of you know, are near and dear to my heart. And it's been really interesting. Esparza is working on a lot of predictive modeling, predictive uses of data so that they can be more certain, as Del outlined, delivering certainty in advertising, something that I know every marketer and every client I know is always asking for. So Del, thank you so much for being on the show today, and we look forward to having you back.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Cheers.